Prayers. Almighty God, who in thy wisdom and goodness has appointed the offices of rulers and parliament for the welfare of society and just government of men, we beseech thee to behold with thy abundant favor us thy servants, whom thou hast been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this land. Let thy blessing descend upon us here in this house assembly. Grant us that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner to promote thy honor and glory, to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country and of those whose interests thou hast committed to our charge. Communication from the chair. Honorable members, I would like to begin by extending my heartfelt apologies to each and every one of you, as well as to the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice for the delayed commencement of today's session. The delay was as a result of an emergency meeting held this morning between the Defense and Security Committee of the National Assembly, the Office of the Clerk, the Minister of Interior, the Minister for Defense, Chief of Defense Staff, Deputy Inspector General of the Police, Director General of the SIS, and the esteemed security chiefs and heads of our beloved nation. The meeting was convened to address a matter of utmost national importance: the recent tragic incident that unfolded before us 2 days ago, the unacceptable shooting of 3 police officers of our men and women in uniform at the Gambia Police Force. The security chiefs briefed the committee on the progress of the investigations and that some arrests are made, including the suspects who are helping the police in the investigation, and further measures being taken in relation to this tragic event. The meeting echoes the fact that this deplorable incident will claim the lives of 2 dedicated and a grievously injured another in line of duty is unacceptable and must be addressed swiftly and in the strongest terms. Therefore, all citizens and residents of the Gambia should be assured that there is no cause for alarm and advised to go about their daily activities. This government is resolved to ensure that the peace and stability for which this country is known is maintained by all means necessary. Honorable members, whilst our hearts collectively ache at the loss of these valiant soldiers, officers of the Gambia Police Force, our thoughts are with their families and loved ones during these challenging times. We must reaffirm our collective solemn duty as elected representatives to confront and address such distressing events with the gravity and deliberation they merit. The safety and security of our citizens are paramount, and it is our shared responsibility to ensure that justice is served and that measures are taken to prevent the recurrence of such tragedies. In light of the circumstances, the committee will continue to engage the executive and all relevant authorities to make sure that all necessary measures are taken to maintain the peace, security, and stability of this country. On behalf of both sides of the Assembly, and on my own behalf, I extend our sincere condolences to the families of the deceased. May the souls of the departed officers rest in perfect peace. Clerk, can we continue?
Correction and approval of records of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 13 September 2023.
Honorable members, the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 13 September 2023 is before us for correction and approval. Can any honorable member please move that the said record of votes and proceedings be considered and approved? Honorable member for Tumanna.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move the motion for the correction and approval of record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sittings of Wednesday, 13 September 2023. Thank you.
Thank you. Any seconder, honorable members? Honorable member for 𝒂𝒏.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 13 September 2023 be approved. Honorable members, I think we all have copies of the record of votes and proceedings, and as usual, we look through it page by page, beginning with page 1. Any member who may have observations or comments may do so at that time. We start with page 1. Honorable member for Sani Mentoring.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On page 1, number 4, which reads questions for oral answers, order 36 and 41, Roman figure 1, which reads His Excellency, Vice President of the Republic. This is where it stops, and I suggest it should continue, like Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia. Thank you.
Members, I was getting some legal minds. We have only one republic. You could have the Vice President of the Republic, the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia. So I think to add the Gambia should not be a problem. Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia. Pardon? Yeah. Vice President of the Republic can only mean the Gambia. Either way, yes. Honorable members, we have now done page 1. Any more on page 1? Member for Woolly East.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. It's just that same number 4 is questions for oral answers. The S is missing on the answer.
The heading, huh? Number 4.
Before you move to page.
Open. Where is the Deputy Speaker? Clerk, you are attesting to it, isn't it? Number 50. Oh, he is saying that he was not present. Okay, I think if I had known that, I would believe you on the onset. Otherwise, you would have just kept quiet. So, for identifying yourself as being absent, but with permission, should be trusted. Any more observations on page 3? Honorable members, you remove Honorable Babu from number 50 and bring him on to number, just after number 57. We now move to page 4. Honorable Member for 𝒂𝒊𝒏.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On page 4, under number 2, matters of the day, where it reads at the invitation of the Honorable Speaker, Honorable Bileji Tunkara, member of Kantora and Majority Leader, delivered a statement on the shooting of 3 police officers instead of 2. It's 3 instead of 2. We have 2 on it, and it should be
right. 3 officers were shot. 2 died. Pardon? On the statement, it was. So let somebody talk. I'm not hearing. Who is talking?
It's me.
Majority, yes.
I'm saying what he said is right, because I mentioned 3 of their names in the report, but 2 died. 3 got shot. Yeah.
To 3.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Is it majority?
No.
Who is shouting?
Member for Jara Central.
Jara Central.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, the table office is taking it from the matter of the day delivered by the honorable member. On the statement there, it was 2 mentioned. So this is where the table office is taking it from. Yes.
Huh? We are in agreement. But it was an error. How many people were shot?
No, it was 3. You all know.
So why do you want to insist legally on this thing? Because it's the order.
I'm not insisting, sir. I'm not insisting. What I'm saying is the table office was not wrong.
I am in agreement. We understand that.
Exactly.
That it was, they picked it from the...
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But it is not correct.
That's what I'm saying.
And now we are correcting it. Yes. We are not blaming you.
No, Speaker. Honorable Speaker. No.
Even the table office, they are telling me what happened yesterday is what they are reporting. Agreed. But I'm sure it was an oversight. Pardon? Can I hear you?
I said the precedence we have said is that whatever was in the order paper is what we maintain. So there is no need to change it to 3. No corrections. That's what you said.
You said that's what you said? But honorable member for Wuli is, why do you have to continue with something that to your knowledge is wrong and is not correct? If a law, this is not Bible and Quran, where something, an error is done, it should be corrected.
I'm just saying
it's going to be very misleading. Even if it means we put up whatever we should do now to correct yesterday's on so it can be corrected. Because if you leave it on records like this, it means it's not true.
That's the same thing that happened until you set that precedence. You are the one who set the precedence. It's not me.
Give an example. Give an example. Okay, honorable member for...
Honorable Speaker, I think you are on track because the correction is in the statement. The majority leaders, in fact, made mention of 2 people died and the one is hospitalized. He made mention of 3. If the heading was wrong to say 2, let us correct it. We blame nobody for it. But let's do the general correction and move.
My problem actually is, we as an institute, we deal with facts. If by error or omission, something has happened and none of us saw it, and we now realize that it's not correct, but because it was the heading yesterday, we should continue with it, misleading people until doomsday. I think we should be bold enough or find a way of making those corrections and then go out. So can we continue, please?
We agree with you. We are agreeing. Let's continue like that from now on. Yes.
We can now continue. On page 4, am I right? We are on page 4. Any more? We move to page 5. Members, we now move to page 6. Honorable member for Jara Central.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On page 6, question number 2, the third one, number 3, question number 286 of 2023 by the Honorable Member for Fonyi Councillor. It is not supposed to be Fonyi Councillor, it's supposed to be Jara Central. Yes, I was the one who asked that question. Not the member for Fonyi Councillor.
Member for Fonyi Councillor was asked questions. I don't even understand that statement.
What I'm saying, Honorable Speaker, is that 286, question number 286 of 2023 for the Minister for
That's the second line, am I right?
Yes, the Minister for Communication and Digital Economy.
Can you read the whole thing? Question number 286, continue.
286, by the Honorable Member for Fonyi Councillor, was asked answered and generated 6 supplementary questions which were equally answered. My problem there is the phony councillor which is captured there. It was not supposed to be phony councillor, but Jara Central.
Okay.
Yes, I was.
The question was not asked by phony councillor.
Exactly.
It was asked by Jara Central.
Exactly.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Noted and corrected. Any more on page 6, honorable members? We now move to page 7. Honorable member for Woolly East.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Page 7, question number 207, stroke 2 or 3, should be 2023 instead of 2 or 3.
Woolly East.
Yes, thank you very much. On page 8, you have number 4, second line where, however, he was not on his seat and gave.
Honorable member for Woolly, I think you are right. It should be captured as it was. What transpired is what should be captured. So the Honorable Speaker invited the Honorable member to read out his question. However, he was not on his seat and gave no other member authority. No, because the Honorable member gave somebody authority, and that somebody also was not on seat. That's how it should be captured, huh? Have you? Uh-huh. I think you are right. It's noted and it will be corrected. Yeah, page 8, number 4. Now we move to page 9. All right, I think that's the last one, honorable members.
Speaker, so how would it read now?
Pardon?
I said, how would it read?
What correction do you mean? Is for them to capture that the speaker invited, the substantive holder was not in, and the person he authorized was also not in, and therefore the question could not be answered. So they know how to frame it. You let them frame it. Yes, somebody was talking. Somebody is talking. Huh?
I think
you have withdrawn.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 13th September 2023 be approved with amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable Minority Leader and Member for Brikama North. Yes, I've completed. Honorable, Clerk, I've said it, I've concluded, and I put it into votes. And now I said, let's continue.
Can I take the floor?
Hold on, Honorable. Yes, Honorable Minority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, acting on Clause 53K of the standing orders, it reads, the motion agreed by the Speaker to be a matter of urgency. Honorable Speaker, it could be recalled that as part of the recommendations of the expert report, recommendation number 23, FPAC to prepare and submit comprehensive resolutions on this report for presentation to the plenary for its consideration and adoption on or before Thursday, 14 September 2023. Honorable Speaker, the FPAC is able to complete the resolution this morning. On that, I beg to take leave the Speaker and National Assembly for us to present the resolution. We have two, and we will present that for COVID-19 and that for government accounts to be presented on Monday. Thank you.
Permission granted. Continue, please.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, draft resolution of the National Assembly on COVID-19 audit. Whereas the National Assembly considered the recommendations of FPAC on the Auditor General's report on the government COVID-19 Phase 1 and 2 audit, recognizing the good work of the Auditor General, applauding the FPAC for working during odd hours to deliver comprehensive report, cognizant of the provisions of the 1997 Constitution of the Gambia, Public Finance Act 2014, and the Financial Regulation of 2016. Taking note of the previous resolution on the consolidated FPAC report of the 5th Legislature, to consolidate the resolution of both phases of the COVID-19 report, now therefore resolved that the Executive Director of the National Disaster and Management Agency must account for all undelivered food items worth over $100 million on or before 25 September 2023 to the Accountant General and notify the FPAC, failure of which the Inspector General of Police must launch an investigation immediately. So that the Executive Director of National Disaster Management Agency to account for the shortage of delivery of oil by the International Company Insurance worth $37,653,700 and the money to be deposited to the National Treasury on or before 25 September 2020 and notify the Accountant General, the Auditor General, and the FPAC, failure of which the Inspector General of Police must launch an investigation immediately. 3, that the Executive Director of National Disaster Management Agency must provide to the Auditor General and the FPAC the certificate of confiscation of the damaged food items by the Food Safety and Quality Authority on or before 25 September 2023, failure of which the FSQA will be summoned by FPAC. And 4, whereas the Executive Director fails to deliver the items or some mentioned in 1, 2, and 3 above upon expiry of the deadline, the President must consider sending him on administrative leave pending the outcome of the police investigations. 5, the Secretary General, Ministry of Health, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, must produce the missing payment voucher in respect of the payment of $1,650,000 to the Auditor General and FPAC on or before September 25, 2003, failure of which the Inspector General of Police
2023
rather, failure of which the Inspector General of Police must launch an investigation immediately. 6. The Permanent Secretary Ministry of Health must recover the sum of $1,165,548 being an overpayment of COVID-19 frontline workers and pay the sum to the Accountant General. Notify the Auditor General and the FPAC on or before 20 September 2023, failure of which the Inspector General of Police must launch an investigation immediately. 7. The Permanent Secretary Ministry of Health must provide to the Auditor General and the FPAC all material evidence relating to the request for quotations from the independent bidders on or before 25 September 2023, failure of which the Inspector General of Police must launch an investigation immediately. 8. The Gambia Embassy in Beijing, Madrid, Addis Ababa, and Abu Dhabi must return all unpaid COVID-19 funds meant for Gambian students amounting to $1,380,186.08 to Accountant General Department and notify the FPAC by end of October 2023. Failure of which the Accountant General must deduct the said sums from their monthly cash allocation from November and December 2023. 9. The Director General Gambia Tourism Board, GT Board, must account for the $202,000 in difference of monies received from the government for payment to individuals in the informal sector on or before 25 September 2023. Failure of which the Inspector General of Police must launch an investigation immediately. And finally, 10. The Grand Management Committee and Gambia Press Union must return to Accountant General Department the sum of $585,159.86, being the unused funds for the COVID-19 relief support to the media houses on or before 20 September 2023. Failure of which the Inspector General Police must launch an investigation immediately. Done on this 14th day of September 2023. I thank you.
Minority. I observe that all the statements, Inspector General of Police must launch an investigation. Am I right? Immediately. Full stop. And then what? And either report back to you or do something to be clear.
Yes, the Inspector General of Police, after the investigation, that's noted to report back to FPAC. The draft is meant for that.
Hello, Speaker.
For observation.
Speaker.
Honorable Minority Leader, what are you adding?
The Inspector General of Police to do the investigation and report back to FPAC. So wherever it appears that failure of which the Inspector General of Police must launch an investigation, wherever it appears in the resolution, it should report back to FPAC, isn't it? Immediately.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And report back to FPAC immediately. Am I right?
Yeah, if you have
honorable member, is that?
If you have observation,
is that not all Yundum?
Then
all Yundum consequent. You raise your hand and talk. You talking to. If you have what do you have to say? Maybe hear you.
Honorable Speaker, what I wanted to say, I said because FPAC is giving us the resolution. Now Parliament is debating on it. When Inspector General of Police did the investigation already, reporting back to FPAC doesn't make sense. What are they going to do next? Because now we need an action from the Inspector General of Police. So FPAC cannot do the action now. Who's supposed to do the action?
What are you suggesting? In the circumstance, what are you suggesting?
With regards to this is government. I think when the Inspector General of Police is done, one thing they can do, if it is for action, I think the report should go to the President for action immediately. That is it.
Honorable Speaker.
Speaker. All right, okay. Yes, Honorable Minority.
Honorable Speaker, I can recall that we had a petition on the tourism, youth and sports. We refer it to the Inspector General of Police for investigation and report back. When we receive, we send the report to the appropriate institution. It is our report. We send it to them to investigate. After investigation, they bring it, and then we also send it to the appropriate institution for action.
Speaker. Speaker, Sen.
Speaker.
Speaker.
Honorable Member for Upper Salu.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The reason why we are saying that the Inspector General of Police must report back to us is the fact that the Inspector General of Police, you have given us work to do, and we have delivered. Now the next step is, after the investigation, we expect them to come to FPAC, because the Inspector General of Police cannot stand here to answer any question or to deliver a report. So what we expect to do is, once they are done with their investigation, they come and tell us that this is the investigation we have, and from there, as a committee, who has given us the powers to do whatever we want to do, we come back and tell you this is the situation. And from there, we take a decision as a plenary. FPAC alone cannot make a decision for the plenary, on behalf of the plenary. But you have actually given us powers to do whatever we want to do, and then we come back and tell you. From there, we take it forward.
Speaker. Yes. Speaker.
Honorable members, I'm seeing a lot of tags. Honorable members, let's get a few things clear. On behalf of the plenary, after endorsing these resolutions, and the various institutions failed, we are demanding that the Inspector General launches an investigation. Am I right? At the end of the investigation, it could be found out that there was nothing wrong. So how can you send it to the President directly? So when the Inspector General does his investigations, it comes back to Parliament through FPAC. When they study the report, until they are satisfied, they will come and bring another report to us to say that following the investigation of the Inspector General of Police on A, B, and C, we further recommend that and that and that and that. We look at it. If the people are found wanting and we want actions, then we send a copy to the relevant institutions and to the office of and to the President himself. But we need to know what is the outcome of the. It doesn't mean when we send anybody there, it will be found wanting. It may not be. So let's get that clear. Yes, Honorable Majority.
Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, we have resolved that after the completion of the report, we debated and adopted all the recommendations be forwarded to the executive for an onward forward to the IGP to implement this thing. My key concern is you are asking them to launch an investigation, you are asking them to do this, you are giving them short time frame, 25th of September to report. No, please, you have a bite of the queue.
Allow him to learn and you come on, please.
Sometimes, like the mission in overseas, requires travel, require time to do it. So let's not be over ambitious of things. Let's get it right that allow the IGP to recover all this money that we've said by not giving a restrictive timeline. We have to be very conscious about that. Already the IGP is in position to report. The President is also in position to report. So let's allow them to do the needful rather than tighten it. It might not be realistic.
Honorable members, what I do understand from the motion.
I am not saying that they don't have the
honorable members,
but let's
please.
look at the visibility of it. What is visible under the circumstances?
Honorable members, what I understand from the resolution by the member for Brikama North. The timeline is for the institutions to comply with what the plenary agreed on. In the event up to that time they have not complied, they are now asking the IGP to go intervene and then look and investigate into it. For the IGP's investigation is immediately, as soon as he is ready. That's what we have. Is there any objections to that? Gara, West.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member for Jara Central.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My worries here is that the Inspector General of Police is not giving a timeline as to when he should come back to FPAC. That's my worry. And it should be.
All right, Honorable Member.
Are we going to leave the investigation open? No, there should be a time framework.
All right, Honorable Member. I think what we will do, minority, is you have moved your motion. Now, let somebody second the motion. And then we allow a short debate on the motions. And then we include and delete whatever we think should be included or deleted. Now, can somebody second the motion? Jara West.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, the motion has been moved and seconded. We don't want to spend a lot of time on this particular resolution. So what we need to do is, honorable members, what we need to do is, if you have proposals to make to amend or add, let's just raise your tag and then you say it and then the members decide on it. Yes, Jara Central.
Thank you once again, Honorable Speaker. I said the IGP is not given a period to report back to FPAC. It's open. Likewise, the other officers are given period on or before 25th September 2023. So my suggestion is that we should look at a very suitable time and give it to the IGP to report back to FPAC.
What do you call a suitable time? What is your suggestion?
We can say 3 months or let's say 1 month.
Honorable member, you must be specific. What is your proposal for specific time?
Okay, 90 days. 3 months.
3 months, okay.
Yeah, 3 months.
Any other member?
3 months.
Honorable members, his proposal for a time frame for the Inspector General of Police, and he suggested, I think, 3 months. Yeah, I think we need to decide on that. Either we accept a time frame or we reject it. We are accepting a time frame. And the 90 days is what you agree. Any member who thinks otherwise? So the time frame, minority, note it down, the time frame is now 90 days. Within 90 days. All right? So, honorable member, if you want to talk, just raise your tag or you submit your names. The next one is Same. Same.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I first of all want to thank FPAC. Yes. Well, yes. I'm just laying a foundation. Okay. All right. Okay. Honorable Speaker, I'm also recommending that after the IGP's investigation, let them report to FPAC. And FPAC also can report to the plenary, not to the president. Thank you.
Honorable member for Sami, that's exactly what we have said. We have said that the IGP will report to the FPAC. No, somebody's opinion. No, we have passed that stage. We have surmounted that. The honorable member for Central Badibu. Woolly East.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, my issue is at 80, Resolution 80. Where is saying the last failure of which the Accounting General must deduct the said sums from their monthly cash allocation from November to December 2023. Honorable Speaker, I believe that there should be an investigation to find out who is responsible at the embassy, rather than punishing everybody, because by cutting cash allocation, you may affect the embassies, the operations of the embassy. But if you know who is responsible, then you put the task on that person. That's how I see it.
Declare the air. Yeah, is it minority? Oh, okay, yes. Member for Central Body.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think it is very clear. He said the Gambian embassy in Beijing, Madrid, Addis Ababa must return all COVID funds meant for Gambian students amounting to this. So those people will do their work. No, it's the embassy. You cannot say let them investigate again. The embassy will know who are responsible for it. So I think the language is very clear. We cannot put another investigation. No, for me, Honorable Speaker, I think we maintain it as it is. It's very clear.
Honorable Member for Upper Salum.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. From the conversation we had during the interrogation, it's implied that the embassies use the remaining money in their operations. So in their operations, meaning it's part of the cash allocation they've used. And that's the reason why we are saying that the money is supposed to be refunded from the cash allocations, because they use it in their operations, in the embassy. So that's why we are taking it back from their cash operations to return it to the government.
All Yundum.
Honorable Speaker, for consistency, from the resolution passed by FPAC, there are people responsible in, let's say at the Ministry of Health, they say the Permanent Secretary is responsible. At the embassy also, the ambassador is the head.
I don't understand. Which one are you talking about?
I said for consistency.
Pardon?
We said Permanent Secretary, Minister of Health. Why do we mention the Permanent Secretary? Is he the only person there? And the money was given to Minister of Health. So the embassy also, the ambassador is the head. So why not you mention that? You're going to say embassy. Embassy is just a structure. But somebody is the head in the embassy. Or whatever, whoever.
Honorable Speaker, I know for one thing is the Permanent Secretary is the accounting officer of the institution. Can we get my majority?
What I'm saying, just to support the submission made by Willie East, that you've asked them to submit, or fail of which you are even giving them punishment already. That if they don't do that, you are going to deduct their cash allocation. Already it's really relaxed. They can say that, okay, well, go ahead and do that. But who suffers? The taxpayers of Gambia who suffers. You are rendering the mission, unoperational. So it's not wise. You have to insist that the vote controller, which the money has been given to, should report back and make money. So you are even asking them that if you cannot produce, because first of all, it's an act of negligence. Sorry, please, one house. First of all,
will know that you are the one causing nuisance. Yes, honorable member.
What I'm saying, the act is an act of negligence. Using the COVID form without the authorization. Where do you have the word of? Once you didn't exhaust it, retire it. But whosoever is the vote controller under the COVID-19 form should be held responsible. So please, we should not set different rules for others and set another for. Thank you very much.
I want to ask honorable member for Upper Salu. It is assumed that it was used for operations. Have you got the facts to back that it was used for operations?
Yes.
No. Have we got the facts that it was used for operations?
Yes.
Or it was only assumed?
No, the committee is not assuming. This is during the question and answering session we have with them. They're saying that they use it as part of their operations. Now,
I agree.
Yes.
But do you have evidence to show that it has been used for that? They can say, we have used it for operations, when actually they have not used it.
No, that's fine. What we can do is we can go with what they say.
So you are taking it that they told you that?
From the conversation,
Speaker.
That's what we agree. Yes. But, Speaker, I think just to make it short. No, I can't hear.
I have not heard your response.
Have I? No, what I'm saying is like
evidence or facts to back that they have.
No, these are verbal. We didn't have any evidence. This was a verbal conversation. Yeah.
Honorable Speaker. Say something. Minority. You want to? Yes, go ahead.
During the committee session, all the witnesses are always on oath. We have the belief that whatever they say, it may not be true, but if they are on oath, that is something that we can take. The authority will be very difficult to establish. It will be very difficult to establish.
You see, the accused and the defendant all at the court, they all are on oath. And one will say, I have not done it. The other one say, you take out and say, you did it. The two cannot be done. The two cannot have it. So taking an oath is one thing. How many of us believe in the oath we are taking? Because I tend to, if you are talking about management of embassies should be held accountable for anything at the embassies. When you deduct from the embassies, usually the innocent people will suffer because they allocate to every sector. So that was the fear, I'm sure, why the member for Woolly came up. Why can't you determine what went wrong? Is it meant for them to use it as operations? Why should they then use it for operations? Then something went wrong. And that's what we are trying to correct. So that tomorrow when you are given something for something, you do it for that purpose or you return it. You just don't have the right to violate to something else without authority. So what are your positions on this number 8? Can the honorable member make a proposal, the one who proposed this amendment? Yes.
Well, thank you, Honorable Speaker. My amendment would be the same trend. We give the responsibility to the Inspector General to investigate and come back to them just like all the others. Make a clear thing.
Who do we hold accountable? You identify, in these other ones, you have identified people who should do that. Well, in this particular case, whom are you? Yeah, be specific.
Head of mission.
No, it's the same.
Yeah.
Just like what Honorable Member for Olyundum said, in other areas, the Director General or the PS that take charge, we do not say that they are the ones who have taken, but they are the vote controllers. So in this situation, we can say the Gambian head of mission in Beijing, Madrid, Addis Ababa, Abu Dhabi must account for the unpaid COVID-19 funds meant for Gambian students amounting to 1,380,186.08 to the Accountant General Department and notify FPAC by end of October 2023, failure of which the Accountant General, the Inspector General of Police must launch an investigation immediately and report back to FPAC. Yeah, then the additional one amendment that is within 90 days. What we added is the 90 days.
Can I get something clear? The 90 days, is it for all instances where the Inspector General is to investigate?
Where the Inspector General is supposed to mount an investigation, it will take effect from the time of the start of the investigation until up to 90 days.
All right, so honorable members, you have heard the amended version, meaning the head of mission will have to account for the monies and report back to the Accountant General within a time framework, failure for which, as usual, the Inspector General of Police must launch an investigation which should be completed within 90 days and report back to FPAC. I think that's what you have captured. Are we all in agreement with that? Anything that you think should...
Yes.
If you are not in agreement, please say so.
Yes.
Yes, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I am not in support of the amended version.
What's happening?
Saying is, our tasks were up long since before he entered. Over 20 minutes and before he entered, and he's given the floor.
Honorable, I think you cannot be a member on the floor and be a speaker here. Have I ever denied you the right to speak? But as to whom my eye catches, that's my discretion, not you sitting there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we were here, you will have called somebody else probably, and somebody will have told you, why not me? But I do my best to make sure that it is balanced off. And I don't even call, I make sure your names are tagged. Yeah. I could have called, but you submit your names and I read from that document. You should be satisfied. Honorable member.
Speaker, we are just appealing.
Honorable Speaker, I am not in support of the amended version because if you look at the amount involved on item 8, it's 1.3 million. And the missions involved are about 4. And as it is more judicious,
more ideal than allowing the Inspector General of Police to constitute teams to go to Addis, Abu Dhabi, and Beijing. It will cost more than $5 million. And I think, yes, the objective is to exhaust. But if it is established by FPAC that these monies were used for other than the purpose it was meant for, and I think as it is for them for it to be deducted from their monthly, it will be more savings than sending people to go and investigate.
What the Honourable Deputy Speaker is suggesting is that it affects at least 3 or 4 countries, and it's expensive for the IG to send investigators to all these places. It may end up spending more than even the money they are investigating. Am I right? The only thing is, it is what you spend $100 is to ensure that the $50 is properly accounted. But I think what the problem with that may be, is it how are you going to identify those who have misused the money without a legal basis or an investigation?
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Yes, you know, in all these missions, they have accounting officers, either the head of the mission or the deputy head of the mission. And we all know funds, when they are allocated for reasons and why those monies are allocated to them. And disbursements are based on those approvals that the mission and the deputy head of mission or the head of mission, who is the accounting officer, have, and also the accounting officer must be instructed by a superior in the mission. There cannot be more than 2 people who should be held accountable, the ambassador and the accounting officer.
The counter proposal to what is on the floor by the Honorable Deputy Speaker is that this affects about 3-4 countries. And then if the Inspector General is to investigate, he must send investigation teams to all these places. And that at the end, it may cost more than the 1.3 we are talking about. So he is suggesting that people should be held accountable. At these various embassies, it's either the head of mission or the accounting officer who should be able to account for it, or they should be able to be deducted and pay for it. Rather than going into investigations and then they go there at the end, something happens. That's what he has suggested in summary. What is the general opinion?
Honorable Speaker, I think I will also support the proposal made by the Deputy Speaker. The other people suggest that we change the name instead of embassy to the head of mission. But at the end, the minority leader said, IGP to report within 30 days. I think that one should be taken out of it. Yes, we might have somebody to be responsible. When you say the head of mission, we are fine with that. Then, this 1-point-something million, how many embassies? You set up, the police IGP should set up a team to send to go there, their per diems. How much will that cost? How much will that cost? So I think, as it is, I support it, but we can change the head of mission. Instead of saying the Gambian embassy, to be specific to say the head of mission or the vote controller. That's okay. I'm saying we either maintain, we say, head of the mission, the Gambian mission in the various foreign embassies, or we say the vote controller.
To do what?
No, to be responsible for this.
Okay.
This is what I mean.
All right, okay, I understand. Yes, Honorable Member for Kiang West.
Honorable Speaker, I don't think it might be necessary for the investigative team to travel to investigate this matter. That might not. This is in the responsibility of the IGP to know how they are going to investigate. And they might not necessarily travel to investigate this matter. And I think they have the capacity to do that. And the other thing is, the document is supposed to be in place.
Sorry, can I hear you there?
I said...
the IGP, I've not heard that.
And the investigative team might not necessarily travel to do this investigation. That might not be necessary. They need to be provided with the documents and evidence of the transaction they have carried out, and the IGP establish something and report back to us. That might not necessarily lead to traveling. And the other thing is, the other one is, I'm proposing 2 months, because when we say 90 days for the IGP to report to us, that will fall in the first session of the legislative year of 2024. So I'm suggesting that for internal matters to report within 60 days, and for the embassies be 90 days. So that in the last session of this legislative year, which is December session, we can look at the report and take position on it, so that it will not be taken by event.
Honorable, don't worry. Parliament has a right to call for an extraordinary session on something else. But my problem is, how can you investigate something in Dubai, for instance, without going there? You are going to ask for documents. You must go. You cannot. An action taken in Dubai, you want to find out, you have to go to the embassy. Unnecessary longer time on our resolutions. What was proposed by the member for Woolly East and polished by the Honorable Minority Leader, do we take that or we leave it out? Huh? We take that. Yeah. So, honorable members, anybody who is not comfortable with that? Everybody is comfortable. All right. Hey. Honorable member for Woolly East, it's your turn. Huh?
We said we are satisfied with the minority leader's amendment.
Woolly East, you have any more?
We are satisfied with the minority leader's amendment.
No, I am saying on the list now, it's your turn. You submitted your name.
Yes.
Have you anything?
No.
Honorable member for Kiang West, you have said your own, am I right?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My concern here is about from the 14th to the 25th. We have only 11 days. From the 14th to the 25th, we only have 10 days to go. My concern is, what is the security attached to these days? The security attached to this. Because my concern here, if I am mentioned here, and then I know I'm not saying that they are guilty. It might not be. They might be guilty, and not to be seen anywhere. So what is the security attached to this? To secure them, to secure this before the time, before investigation. Before the investigation, where is security? What is the security attached to this?
What do you mean? What security? What type of security are you talking about?
If I am guilty and they are investigating me, I might flee the country and go. No. You know, here I'm not guilty, but in me I know I am guilty. I can leave the country.
Yes, but then that is it. But you cannot. This is an accused. You are only alleging.
No.
They are not convicts.
No. What I was suggesting is.
No, it may be too much. If somebody dodges and leaves the country because of this allegation, we learn a lesson.
No,
pardon?
Speaker, as used to be during your time, when all these reports are out, they are called and submit their documents, and then investigation continues.
When audit reports are out?
Most of them are always called. They are always called by the police, submit their traveling documents, and then investigation continues.
Probably that was at their level. I'm not aware of that.
No, I was aware because I have very many people on this.
Now, if based on these allegations they go to do something else, then that's their own. But we are not directing them to do those things. You know, if our concerns are heard by government or agencies of government, and they decided by powers vested in them to do certain things, Well and good. Yes. East.
Honorable Speaker, I see his problem, but my take is that when we tell the Inspector General to investigate, they know how to investigate. They do what is required, so we don't tell them how they should do things. We should just stop at what we have said. Thank you.
I am sure the honorable member's point is, now against the timeline you have given to them to report back to the Accountant General and inform the PAC about those monies. During that period, they can just slot out and go. That's what he's worried. If they slot out and go, but what can you do?
I'm saying
now this resolution is out. Government is hearing it. The police are hearing it. Every other sector of government are hearing the resolutions, and they will receive it. If they feel that there should be some necessary measures in place for these things to happen, let them do it.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
What we don't want to do probably is to say, now let them go and surrender their passports and all these things at this juncture. No. Honorable Member for 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏𝒆𝒍.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I am satisfied with the deliberation going on, but I have a different one. That is number 10, if I am granted.
Now, yeah, I called you to make any observations on the resolution. Yeah.
All right. I'm okay. As agreed, I'm okay with that. I have a different one.
Honorable Member for 𝒂𝒂𝒏.
Yes.
What is your problem? Go to your problem.
No, they are just trying to.
Where you have problems? Where?
All right. Number 10. Number 10.
Yes, go there and yes.
Yes, number 10. It seems as if my view, I'm not satisfied. That is, the key issues here is the Grant Management Committee of Gambia Press Union instead of an Gambia Press Union. That is my suggestion.
I think they are two different things. The Grant Management Committee is one thing,
okay,
and the Gambia Press Union is another. Am I right?
Are they different bodies?
𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒍, are you okay?
No, I thought maybe that Grant Management Committee.
With that comment, are you okay?
It's okay. It's okay then.
Yeah, Honorable Member for Chandu. For Basse.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have an issue on the resolution because the Honorable Member for 𝒂𝒂𝒏, in fact, the proposal was from him that after taking our final resolution, it will be forwarded to the President. But it's not captured. It should have been captured because the decision was taken at the plenary here. Yes, it was. The proposal even came from him. And and when we agreed, it should have been captured.
Is it relevant for us to put that?
Yes, of course.
No, I think.
He made a proposal, and we consented to that proposal, and it was accepted. So it should have reflected.
In fact, that should not be a proposal. We should be able to send our report to the President of the Republic of the Gambia on anything we are doing.
There was a discussion. He even raised and made a proposal, and people consented that proposal. It should be captured. Should be captured. Yes, it should be captured.
Honorable, you say we Parliament, we are not operators in government. Section 109, I think, tells us that we will do our investigations and we give it to the executive for implementation. So whether that is there or not, why should we put that it should be given to the President? Yes. Mover of the motion.
Honorable Speaker, I think actually what happened during the debate, people raised concern that this resolution and the report should go to the President. I said that's very important. We have not been going. All that we used to do is to send to institutions and agencies. But now for it to carry more weight, when we are done with the resolution and report, we'll send the copy of the resolution and the report to the President But that doesn't mean that that should be part of the resolution. It is the resolution that will be sent to him. But we are not resoluting that we are sending to him.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Honorable, I don't think there should be any resolution type or an issue like the audited accounts of the Gambia government. Yes, you may send it to institutions, but you should always send it to the office of the president. Yes. Honorable member for, is it, Kalinding. No. Sani Mentoring.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. For number 8 on the resolution, the amount which is 1,380,000 plus some figures is the total amount for the entire embassies which are mentioned here. So my only suggestion is if we can have a breakdown, of course I'm part of the committee, but if we can have a breakdown of each and every embassy so that we know how much each embassy is having. That's one part of it. And then also from that, I suggest we maintain as it is, apart from the changes that I am talking about, we maintain as it is on page 8 for the resolution. Thank you.
Honorable member, we have already agreed that it should be rewritten as proposed by the member for Woolly East and polished by the mover of the motion. We have already agreed on that. I asked anybody who I asked.
No, so you come.
I asked and everybody said yes. Nobody said no, I have a problem. I asked. But even if I have seen you, it is one out of how many? Now this is what I'm saying. What I am saying is, after the various proposals, until it was refined, I told you people, now you have heard it. Is anybody against the current proposal? Honorable, I don't know what you are, Honorable Member of Parliamentary. What are you talking about? Your opinion. Who said you are not talking your... We know that you are saying your opinion. What you said is that we go back on this thing. I said we cannot even put that again because we have resolved it. Nobody is denying your opinion. We have resolved that issue. Yes, Honorable Member for...
Honorable Speaker, you are trying to find out from members their opinion. You are using your list. You call Honorable 𝒂𝒄𝒏. Do you understand? Then you ask the minority leader. Honorable 𝒂𝒂𝒏 came up with number 10. We told 𝒂𝒂𝒏 that no, we are still on number 8 to finalize. Let me learn. Until 𝒂𝒂𝒏, you told 𝒂𝒂𝒏, continue on your observation. But we did not finally agree on the proposal made by minority leader or Honorable 𝒂𝒄𝒏. What he contributed, I also contributed. I said we changed the name. We said head of mission or vote controller. But did we vote on it? Members,
Honorable Member for Central Body, but this time around you are wrong. Honorable Member, the time the Honorable Member for Councillor is taking the floor, well before that, we have taken decision on this one, even before I gave it to the member for Kiang West. When these proposals were made, I was not then using the list. Because it was the issue on the table now, people were raising their hands. There was time I called the honorable member's name is not listed. But it was on an issue on the floor and we are trying to get a consensus on it. And then I was calling people. It was after that that I went back to the list. And I started calling members. But, you see, you are not listening, Honorable. Please. Honorable Member, please. You are not listening. No, then you don't understand. Yeah, please learn to understand. I never said, who talked about your name on the list? Did you hear what I've said? Honorable member, when I'm talking, keep quiet. No, keep quiet when I'm talking. You were pushing me to the wall. I haven't mentioned you. I was explaining to him that I had a list of names that you had submitted. And that at that particular time, on that particular issue, we were not looking at the list, we were asking for opinions. That was the time I called the Deputy Speaker. And I was randomly calling people. When we resolved it, I went back to the list. And that's why you had time to talk. Honorable, please, let's not push each other to the wall. Let's give each other our dues. Please. Please. Okay. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏𝒄𝒂𝒏𝒏.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. For me, my only issue is we are giving so much responsibility to the board controllers. That is why it is very important to have public sector experience before you come to the National Assembly. You see, board controllers are mere distributing agents. You don't need to hold, like for instance, if a permanent secretary is given a fund and disburses the fund to the director of Region 4, now the permanent, by way of administrative transaction and all the financial transaction, that money went to the Region 4 to the director. You're going to hold the permanent secretary responsible for that. So most of our recommendation, vote controller to be reformed this, vote controller to reform this, we have to find out, scrutinize whether there are financial and administrative transactions that actually the vote controller has disposed so money to so and so place. I think that's my position. Thank you very much.
I think you are correct, but that's what we are exactly doing. Because what we are saying is the head of the board controller, who is the permanent secretary, he knows what happened. And he can give directives and do anything. Then let him go and find out. If the money is disbursed to somebody else, he will let us know, and we will hold that person accountable. But you cannot go to any other person, you cannot go to the director and leave him there. So that's what they are doing. I think we are all in the same wavelength.
Honorable Speaker. Yes.
Somebody shouting.
Yes, it's Honorable Opasalum.
Opasalum, yeah.
Yes, I think we need to correct this because again we are guided by laws, and again if you look at the Public Finance Act 2014 on vote control, it's very clear that they are responsible for every single penny that is given to them, and that's actually codified into law. So there is nobody else, direct or whoever is responsible, but it's the vote control that actually responsible from the Public Finance Act, nobody else.
Yeah, if you are the vote controller, you are given 1 million. You have the vote. You decide that Director A should be given half a million. And probably that director gave somebody else 250,000. You hold me as the controller, I will be able to know that I gave that money to that person. He will explain and prove that the money is utilized properly or is that, and we'll be able to get the culprit. But you cannot just come from here and go to those people there. And you are right, that's why you are holding them accountable. You are holding them accountable because they are in control of it and they disburse it. So they should be able to explain to Parliament what went wrong, or who are those responsible for whatever happened. That's the purpose. The Honorable Member for Banjul North.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, for me, when it comes to the duration given as far as the investigation of the IGP is concerned, is okay, 90 days. But what I'm proposing is that we cannot extend, no to extension. That is what I'm proposing to the Parliament.
No, we are dealing with motions, resolutions. And that this resolution of 90 days, let's not talk about it. We have passed it. People are in agreement.
I know.
Whether somebody else comes and he is not in agreement, it does not change it. So what we are saying is other things as it happens, when you don't know what happens. There may be need for extension, whatever it is. There may not be need to justify extension. So that when the time comes, they will decide and make the necessary recommendations.
That is what I'm proposing, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, you are saying no.
Yeah, I'm saying no to extension because we don't have time. We have to recover these funds.
Honorable, what about if the extension is genuine? Because you are here, you have the powers. No, if it is not genuine, we will say no to extension. If it is genuine, we will determine it. If it is genuine, we allow it. Kiang East.
Hello, Honorable Speaker, thank you.
Pardon?
I have withdrawn my statement.
Okay. Lower Badibu.
Honorable Speaker, I think I share the same sentiment with Honorable 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒏, Honorable Suleiman, and Deputy Speaker on the issue of dispatching the investigators to the various embassies outside the Gambia. I think that's going to be very expensive, considering the amount that we are talking about. 1 million plus. I believe if we have to dispatch investigators, we're going to spend more than this amount. For me, it's of no use. Thank you.
I think even the mover of that counter motion, Honorable Deputy Speaker, agreed. So I hope you are not left alone in limbo. Yes, we have another honorable member for Bakau.
I think I have to withdraw because my concern has been addressed. Thank you.
All right, honorable members, I think the necessary proposed amendments are noted. Am I right? I just want for us to look at question number three. The certificate of confiscation of damaged food items. Is it only one? Yes, Alaji, Honorable.
Yes, it's only one certificate that they requested.
Okay. Because I wanted it to be specific. If it is, there are a lot of them. Anybody who has any other thing to say about the motion before I allow the mover to come back? Yes? Honorable Member for Central Body.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I just want to salute FPAC and the entire Parliament to come up with this resolution. It's long overdue. Members will recall that we wanted to pass this resolution. We said we waited until everything is done. And finally, here is the resolution. And I believe our stakeholders will adhere to it. And, we make sure that these funds are generated back to develop our sectors that are highly in need of funds. I thank you all for your support.
Yeah, we are vested with certain constitutional legal rights and powers that we can always invoke to get people here and let the Gambian people listen to them. So, Honorable, the mover of the motion, can you round it up? And then... Yes, somebody.
Kiang West.
Kiang West.
Yes, I can remember in the report, there were councils who did not also submit certificate of confiscation, and if that was later received by FPAC, we did not know. And that is not captured under this resolution here. Can you please...
That was not what certificate?
There were councils who claimed to have released some of the documents, some of the food items, and certificate of confiscation were not received by FPAC as report capture. So I'm asking if those certificates were also confirmed to have been received by those various councils. If yes, then we need to be notified. Otherwise, they should also be part of the resolution.
Well, where we have the certificate of confiscation requested by the auditors, is for this particular person. Yeah, I'm not aware of anything like council saying they have not got certificate of confiscation. And then if you talk about councils are under the Gambia government account report that is coming on Monday is a separate resolution.
Yeah, this resolution is specific to COVID-19 funds, am I right? Yeah. So, Honorable, the mover of the motion, Honorable Minority Leader and Member for 𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒄𝒏.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me seize this opportunity once more to thank the National Assembly, especially the clerk and the staff, for the support that they have given to FPAC. We could not have done justice if we don't have a very good report. It's because of our staff that we are able to have a very comprehensive report, and then within 2 days we were able to get this resolution, and the second one is coming tomorrow. And as I said during my closing remark on the day of passing the report,
Minority, what is coming tomorrow?
Monday. Oh, Monday, sorry. Monday. Those institutions that might have the notion that this report is just for the sake of reporting, I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. We are going to prove them wrong. Now, FPAC means business, and the National Assembly means business for that matter. I can tell you when we present our follow-up on the last resolution, progress is made. And the same vein also, I hope the executive will be very cooperative in implementing this resolution. When we are done, the resolution and the copy of the report will be sent not only to the institutions, but to the President of the Republic as well. And I have to believe that he will give us all the support necessary. On that note, I thank you all.
Honorable members, it is proposed that this Honorable Assembly do ratify the motion on the resolution of the National Assembly on COVID-19 audit funds as amended. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, can we continue?
Matters of the day, Order 51, by Honorable Ablaisi, a member for Old Yundum and Deputy Majority Leader.
Honorable members, my office is in receipt of a request made by the Honorable Member for Old Yundum seeking permission under Order 51.1 and 2 of the standing orders to make a statement to this Assembly on a laudatory commendation to Gambia's senior football squad for an unprecedented success, back-to-back qualification to the AFCON. Honorable members, having considered the request of the Honorable Member under the provisions of Standing Orders 51.3A, B, and C and D, and 51.5, and noting that the request has satisfied the Standing Orders provisions, I now grant the Honorable Member for Old Yundum constituency leave to make his statement to the Assembly. However, I wish to draw the attention of the Honorable Members to Order 51.8 of the Standing Orders, that the time allocated for matters of the day shall not exceed 3 minutes for Honorable Members who may wish to make statements, and the time allowed for the matters of the day is 30 minutes. I also urge Honorable Members to observe Order 51.9 of the Standing Orders for Guidance, which states, and I quote, "No member may intervene during a member's statement under this standing order, and there shall be no questions and no vote shall be taken at the conclusion of the statement or statements." Honorable members, I now call on the Honorable Member for Old Yundum constituency
to make his statement to the Assembly. Honorable Member.
Honorable Speaker, thank you so much. With your humble permission, I just want to humbly rise to move that I want to withdraw the matter of the day, given the circumstances surrounding, all of us in this country currently, with what happened to our foreign soldiers, police officers. I humbly want to withdraw the matter of the day till next time. Thank you.
Thus, it has been honorable member, it is the mover proposed that it be withdrawn. Can we have any second after that, please? Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, it is proposed that matters of the day be withdrawn. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. It's taken to have been withdrawn. Clerk, can we continue?
Bills. Order 72. Continuation of the committee stage of the Anti-Corruption Bill 2019 by the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice.
Honorable members will recall that the consideration stage of the Anti-Corruption Bill 2019 began in earnest and has since been under consideration during the previous sessions of the Assembly. However, the Assembly could not complete the process at the last ordinary session, that is second ordinary session, and stopped at clause 20 of the bill on Thursday, 15 June 2023 to be precise. We will therefore continue the consideration stage today from where we stopped during the previous session. However, during the consideration stage, members shall have the opportunity to give detailed consideration and scrutiny to every clause and schedule in the bill. This stage also provides an opportunity for amendments to the bill to be debated and voted on. I will now therefore resolve the Assembly into Committee of the Whole Assembly to give consideration to the bill, that's the Anti-Corruption Bill 2019. The Assembly now resolves into the Committee of the Whole House. Honorable members, the Assembly will now go into the Committee of the Whole Assembly to consider the Anti-Corruption Bill 2019 clause by clause. We will also be guided by the committee's report on the bill and clause 72 of the standing orders during the consideration stage. Honorable members, we are going clause by clause. We stopped at clause 20. I think you all have your copies of the anti-corruption bill. Yeah. Honorable members, it is proposed that clause 20 stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Yes.
We have an issue from the committee's level regarding the fines.
On which one? 20?
21.
Ah, okay, on 21. Okay. Yeah, honorable members, just before we go into, I put the question into for a specific clause, just call my attention. Okay. So that we, as you just speak. Clause 21, am I right? Yes, go ahead.
Clause 21, corrupt demand by persons.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. It could be called 20, specifically when we are debating the fines. That alone took us almost 2 hours. But finally, we resolved to this minimum and then this maximum. I think if we use that as a guide, it will help, because most of the recommendations of the committee are on fines. And that is fine not exceeding $100,000 or imprisonment.
Where? Can you make reference? Commission offense, huh?
Commission offense.
And is liable on conviction.
Yeah, B, 21B.
21B. Yes. Anything? Is it that?
Yeah, 21B.
Yeah, can you read it?
So initially, what the committee has is a fine of not less than 300,000 and not exceeding 1 million, or imprisonment for...
Honorable, my problem is, where do you have those fines stated? B. This is what I'm saying. Then it means is the where you have commits an offense. Yeah, so let's read that.
Oh, let's read that first. Okay, I get you.
Commits an offense and is liable on conviction.
Okay. Commits an offense and is liable on conviction to confiscation of the proceeds of the crime and a fine of $100,000 or imprisonment for 7 years or both.
Suggestion now.
Yeah, our suggestion initially was a fine of not less than $300,000, not exceeding 1 million, or imprisonment for not less than 5 years, and not exceeding 7 years or to both. Now since the other time when we debated what we resolved, we can take that consistently. Yeah. Fine not exceeding 100,000 or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years or both.
Yeah, I think before you put the upper and the time limit, I think that's a better quotation. Term not exceeding 100, fine not exceeding 100,000. A fine, the confiscation of the proceeds of the and a fine of a fine not exceeding $100,000 or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years or both.
Or both.
Are we getting it?
Not exceeding.
You have the upper limit. Both are given the upper limits. The fine not exceeding 100,000. It could be $1 to 100,000. And
not what on 1 million.
It's not 100,000.
1 million.
not exceeding 1 million.
Yes, sorry. 1 million.
Yeah.
1 million. Not exceeding 1 million. No, what I'm saying, the last clause, that is 20, after almost about 2 hours debate, this was what we resolved to. Not exceeding 1 million, not 100, 1 million. There's no minimum. The maximum is 1 million.
The discretion of the judge,
yeah.
Depending on the severity of the crime.
Offense, yes.
So, but now,
yeah.
When you say, I think it's your committee, isn't it?
Yes.
Your committee. And that's what you are recommending.
Exactly.
Now, honorable members, I think you know corrupt demand by persons. If you look at the thing, you know the team. What is it? What is the punishment for? I think you have already. The punishment is for a person who requests, receives, or obtains property or benefits of any kind for himself or herself or any other person, or agrees or attempts to receive or obtain any property or benefit of any kind for himself or herself or any other person on account of anything. Can you help read it, majority, deputy? Majority. Continue.
Anything already done or omitted to be done, or any favor or disfavor already shown to any person by public officer in discharge of his or her official duties, or in relation to any matter connected with the functions, affairs, or business of a government department or public body in which the public officer is serving as such, or B, anything to be afterwards done or omitted, or any favor or disfavor to be afterwards shown to any person by public officer in the discharge of his or her official duties, or in relation to any such matter as aforesaid, commit an offense.
We've got that. Now, these are the reasons why one should be punished if found, if convicted, to a fine not exceeding 1 million, or to an imprisonment not exceeding 5 years, or to both fine and imprisonment. That's the law being drafted now. And this will be in addition to the confiscation of the proceeds. We want members to understand. Now, this is a suggestion. The committee has agreed not more than 1 million, and then not more than 5 years, or both. Yes, Honorable Member for Woolly.
Honorable Chair, what I'm saying, when you go to the point, if no one raises issue on the text, there is no need to read all that again, because we have ordered for months now. So wherever we have point, we will raise it to you. That's what we've done at the retreat, and we've done
yes, people.
Hello, yes. Yes.
Yeah, yes. When you're making these laws, we want to remind ourselves. There are times when it's necessary to remind yourselves. Why are you saying somebody should be fined $1 million? It's not more than 1 million. I know. Probably you are oppressed. Somebody else may not be. Not everybody is like you.
Speaker.
Yes?
I'm suggesting we delete it.
You delete what?
This one.
Delete
clause.
What?
Yes.
You said we delete what?
The clause. 21.
You delete the whole of clause 21?
Yes, part less than 1 million. We delete it.
No. Let's listen to him. Where is the honorable member? Councillor.
Yes, Councillor. Yes.
Yes. Can I?
Yes, I said the entire clause. Yeah, we delete it. 21. This one is not connected. It doesn't connect us.
It has no network to connect.
It has no network to connect issues of this.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker,
corrupt by demand, corrupt demand by person. This is just someone that demand to be compensated to make a favor. Probably it's in two ways, whether you are given or not given, but you are reported. So we need to look at the severity of the case, and I want to go with the initial proposal here, that 100,000 and not exceeding 7 years or both. This, we cannot make a law that want to make it uniform, as everything has to be the same fines. No, I'm not supposed to do that. We look at the severity, we look at the legislature at hand. If there is need for us to do flexibility in that, we do that. So it's different from like taking the proceed of the corrupt practice and also charging him. But this is corrupt demand by a person. You cannot say that because of the agreed to amount, it must be uniform. No, there's no sense in that. So I'm proposing the $100,000 or imprisonment for 7 years or both. That should suffice as it is.
It also looks proportional. $100,000 is 7 years. And why don't you say 100,000 and then you have 5 years or so? You know, but 100,000, 7 years. You know, so proposals. I think this proposal is coming from the committee.
Speaker, this one that I read came from the floor here. I'm coming. After 2 hours debate, finally what we resolved to is this. What the committee had was a total different thing. So we said, since this is the 10, there is no need we go by what the committee has. 1 million is the maximum. Now the severity of the offense will determine if it's a less crime, and the judge will know. It may not even be 100,000. It can be 5,000, 10,000, or even $500. But the magnitude of the offense now will determine whether it can go up to 1 million.
I understand, but at least for this portion, let's go down to 5 years. Yes? We are discussing a few things. Let me share it with you. You know, these laws are meant to be deterrents. And if you are able to break the law, you should be punished so that we all learn from it. The situation arises where somebody, for instance, gets away with $5 billion, and probably is lodged in an account in Panama, unknown. He's here, he is convicted, and he is asked to pay 1 million. Or he goes to jail for 7 years. All right? And then he's finished now. Now he goes to enjoy the 5 billion. Because you cannot confiscate it because you don't know it. So what we are trying to talk about is, why don't you put a lower limit? And say, for instance, to a fine of not less than, for instance, 10,000 or 50,000, for instance, not less than that. So the maximum is bonus. So depending on the severity of the crime and the amount of money embezzled,
you can be sent, you will not enjoy that money. You can be sentenced probably for your lifetime. That was a suggestion. But I counter-asked, how do you put the minimum? Because here, it may be an exchange of $100. It's a crime. Now, for that, you have to go to the minimum of 2 years or 1 year or 5 years in prison. So those were the questions we are asking. But I said, let me share it with you, because you are the people who are to make the law. Honorable Speaker. You are always free to intervene.
I think for every clause, there is a hidden mischief that you intend to solve. And you must not lose sight of the mischief that you're trying to address. The conduct that is punishable here is demand. It's demanding. So if you want to put your focus on the possible amount that the person might have realized as a result of the demand, that is punishable differently. The conduct you are punishing here is the act of demanding. You can even make a demand and not get anything out of it, but the fact that you have demanded, you should be punished. So it's the conduct of demand that is punishable here. If the person makes any profit or gain out of that demand, that is why the law went further to say, in addition, that proceed should be pursued and recovered. But we are not punishing for the quantum of what you have made. We are punishing for the simple conduct of being a public officer and you demanding something for your service. So we must not confuse the two. So I think the punishment proposed is proportionate, but if you want to tweak it a little bit, it's not bad.
To ask, if you demand and it's given to you.
If you demand it's given to you, you will be punished for the demanding under this section. You will be punished for the demanding, and then every effort will be made to pursue the proceed you gain and be confiscated, whether domestically or abroad. That's the function and expertise of the commission.
What I'm saying is, if you only demand, even if you don't get it, that's this clause to punish.
Yes.
Even if you don't get it.
Even if you don't get it.
To demand.
Yes. So it's
now I have demanded, and I have got 100 or 100 million, for instance. Now, it's the same clause to punish me?
So if I demand for a bribe of $100,000 and somebody pays it to me, I'll be prosecuted as a public officer for demanding and be punished for demanding. And then the commission will pursue that 100,000 that I might have received, and it will be confiscated. So it becomes a loss both to the giver and the receiver. So because if that money is found and confiscated to the state, it means the person who paid me 100,000 lost his 100,000. I, the one who received the 100,000, will not enjoy it, but I am going to be punished for demanding it.
My problem now is, I share your view. My problem is, one who has demanded is one thing.
Yes.
Now you have demanded, you have received. You will not trace that money. Before you can confiscate, you trace it. And the punishment allotted now is just the fine, the imprisonment, or both.
Yes, but Honorable Speaker,
which is equally the same for somebody who has only demanded and is not successful.
Exactly, Honorable Speaker. But if you have made gain out of your demand, we are setting up a commission and we're going to give them expertise. Whether they will, it's like if somebody is accused of theft, the punishment is the same, whether the stolen property is recovered or not recovered. You are punished for theft. So you are punishing the person for the act of stealing, not what has been stolen. Because we end up confusing ourselves. Theft.
The amount that has been stolen now, how
yes,
do we punish
so
that?
Under the laws of theft, there is also further provision for compensation. So that if you steal something and that is recoverable, the court can order for that to be restituted to the person who owned the property. If it is not found, you are only punished for the conduct of theft. So we should always be mindful of what are we punishing.
I think that's very clear. My only problem is the act that's being punished. And we are not only after the act, the amount that has been stolen also or given out is very important. But I think you have gone out, there are other provisions that can be used to try to recover or compensate. So what are you suggesting, Honorable AG? Because the proposal now is 1 million, not exceeding 1 million, and then not exceeding 5 years. The original text is a fine of 100,000 or 7 years. In fact, that one is compulsory, a fine of 100,000.
Mr. Chair.
I think that there should be flexibility. There should be some flexibility.
Chair.
It cannot just be that specific. Yes.
Chair.
Yes. Yes.
Chair.
Let me just clarify. Are you with me?
Yes. It's always good for punishment clauses to give discretion to the court. In this situation, I would suggest we leave the lower limit open, because somebody could just make a request and is caught on the act of just making a demand even before the transaction is completed. But somebody could make a demand, by the time he is caught, probably he has already made a gain. So there is a whole range that the court can factor in punishing. So as a result of that, we give a court a range where it can exercise a wide discretion.
And that's what?
You can put an upper ceiling and leave the lower open.
Yeah, upper ceiling of, but you have no suggestion as to the upper ceiling.
No, I will leave that to you. I will just provide the framework and leave the content to you.
All right. Honorable Member for Woodley East.
Yes, thank you. Honorable, I think that's what we are trying to do. I think that's what we are trying to do is that we are putting a punishment for the demand. Person who is demanding. So we are, the original suggestion was 100,000, but these people are saying now not exceeding 1 million. So we leave it at not exceeding 1 million, depending on what the court decides. And then we also continue to put the implements also not exceeding 5 years. I think that's fine. Whether you demand for a needle or you demand for an elephant, whatever you demand, you get the punishment.
And if it is as severe as very severe, it can be both. All right, so now, honorable members, the proposal, in fact, according to the minority, it was agreed to by the plenary that you propose to amend this from 100,000 fixed to not more than $1 million and not more than 5 years, or to both.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
That is a fine not exceeding.
Can we listen to the?
A fine not exceeding 1 million or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years or both.
We have now agreed, and then 21 is amended to a fine not more than 1 million or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years, or to both. Huh? Okay. Yes,
Chair.
Yes,
Chair.
Okay. Honorable Speaker, I think we are clear on the intent of the law. My only worry here is, what if you find this particular judge or magistrate on a bad day, a very, very bad one, and your demand was $100, and he end up charging you $1,500,000, $100,000?
Yeah. You see, Keba, what about if the amount involved is 100 million? So that's why the upper ceiling is given. We expect that our magistrates and judges will be sober, So depending on the gravity of the situation, they can even give you a $10 each or $100 each, depending on the situation. But where they are not rational at that time, that's just unfortunate.
Honorable AG.
Progress, please.
Is it not possible to put that particular one in the law, depending on the gravity of the offense? Does it make any harm?
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair.
What is implied is not explicit. Let us be honest.
Honorable Chair, use your mind.
Sorry. It's still discretional, depending on the gravity. Who determines the gravity?
The determination of the gravity now will depend on the severity of the demand.
This is what I'm saying.
That is how I am thinking.
What I'm saying.
It is no longer in the hand of the judge or the magistrate.
No, it will always be in the hand of the judge. Because who determines that severity?
Then, Honorable Speaker, we might as well remove the amount then, if at all the judge or magistrate will be the one to determine the severity.
What we are trying to do, Keba, is to put the judge down so that for this crime, we are telling you don't exceed. You can range from 1 to that amount, depending on the severity.
Chair.
Yes.
Chair, please.
Yes.
Thank you,
Chair.
Honorable Chair. I think,
Chair.
Yes, I think it's not only about the severity, but there are other factors also, like remorsefulness, for example, like first-time offenders. They also consider them, and that is also at the hands of the magistrate or the judge. So they don't only look at the severity, but they also look at the remorsefulness of the person, and at the same time also whether you are a first-time offender or a repeated offender. They take all that into consideration and then give you whatever. For me, I think it's okay.
We noted that you cannot avoid judges and magistrates from giving them the benefit of doubt, their discretion. You cannot avoid that.
Honorable Chair.
We expect that they are gentlemen, honest and sincere, and they will be
Honorable Chair.
Give the best.
Honorable Chair.
Banjul South, Central.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yeah, I concur with the honorable nominated member because the idea is it has to be based on the proportion and gravity of the crime or the intent as alluded by the honorable minister. So right now, like he said, that I think that has answered part of my doubts, that we could, on the lower side, we could peg it anyhow. But when it comes to the higher threshold, like how can you peg that? Like someone can commit a grave crime that might cause like damages, as you made mention of, billions of dollars to the state. So when you make a threshold of, let's say, $1 million, how does that? Doesn't really make sense to me.
I am even confused. You said you are in agreement with the nominated member.
Yes.
That we should include.
No, with regards to the threshold.
No, he's not talking about the threshold.
Okay, I'm saying the 1 million threshold.
No. Your agreement to the nominated member. What did you agree with him? What did you agree on?
With regards to the threshold.
He has not talked about the threshold.
Okay, I am saying.
Then you are not in agreement with him.
I am not. Let's say, no problem.
Because what he talked about and what you are saying are different.
He did say, he did mention of that.
No. He came to the other, that's the other bit of it. Now, you are saying also.
Making reference.
That if you, please, if you put a threshold, what about if you, let's say 1 million, as we did now, and the amount involved is in hundreds of millions. That's what you are saying.
Exactly, that's exactly my point.
That's what you are reasoning. I think the Honorable Minister, in his explanation, you see, there are ways also outside this that monies can be retrieved or compensation done and by the accused or convicted person. If you are found wanting, for instance, with 100 million, the court has a right to say how you are going to refund that 100 million.
Chair.
Let's listen to the Attorney General.
Honorable Chair. Honorable Speaker, let me further help to simplify this. Just ask yourself, you are sitting here on behalf of society. There are certain conducts that we are saying we don't want our public officers to behave that way. If you behave that way, we will sanction you. What is the conduct here in this particular clause? We don't want our public officers to demand for anything other than their lawful pay when they are delivering their service. That is the conduct we are prohibiting. that any public officer that makes the demand of anything in exchange for your official duty, this conduct is punishable. So don't focus on somebody who is demanding for 500,000 or somebody demanding for 1 billion. It's not very material here. It is the conduct of a public officer making a demand for his official service. That's what you want to punish. If you want to focus on, okay, somebody may demand 5,000, but somebody may be demanding 1 million. How do we punish them separately? You will spend the whole day here. The conduct you are punishing is we don't want them to make demands for their job. Let them not do it. If you do it, let's just agree on a reasonable punishment for that conduct and forget about the quantum of demand that they're going to make. And I gave an example of theft. We as society agreed that theft is wrong. Anybody who steals, we should punish you. So we created an offense in the criminal code called theft. But when we defined that theft, we said if you take property that doesn't belong to you with the intention of denying the person permanently of the use of it, I mean, the legal way. But that's what we are punishing. We don't care whether what you stole is valued at $1 million or $100 or $5,000. We are punishing you for taking what don't belong to you and belongs to somebody. So in this case also, I think that's the only way you can simply, otherwise you'll spend the whole day here.
I think that's very explicit. Honorable members, this is very clear. If you want another law, you can bring another law to punish those types.
I don't have my...
And what we want to do also is, usually when you have comments on the various clauses, you have your proposals, you send in your proposals, and based on that we will be able to call you to include it. In the absence of not receiving proposals, it will mean we are going to continue. Huh? Let's try to regularize that. Pardon? Okay? So we have, it is proposed that clause 21 corrupt demand by persons stand part of the bill as amended. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 22, cancelling offences relating to corruption.
It is proposed that clause 22, cancelling offences relating to corruption, stand part of the bill. Do people have comments? Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 23, conflict of interest.
It is proposed that clause 23, conflict of interest, stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, say no. The ayes have it. Yeah?
Yeah. Before you put the questions, then you let them say what they want. Once you put the question, it means you have taken a
yes, that's what I put it. Before I put the question, when you announce this thing, before I put the question, you can put the question. Honorable members, when the table office or the clerk reads the clause, before I come in, you have anything on that, just call our attention. If you don't call our attention until I put the question, it becomes difficult, huh? So we are now on 24, am I right? So you should read 24 now.
Clause 24, fraudulent receipt of property.
Honorable, you have something?
Yeah, the committee has an issue with the fines. The initial one is commission offense that is under 24. Where is the fine? Fine.
It's a fine of $100,000.
A fine of 100,000. 100,000 or imprisonment
for
3 years or both. So the recommendation of the committee is a fine of not less than $500,000 and not exceeding $2 million, or imprisonment for not less than 5 years and not exceeding 7 years or to both.
That becomes very complicated.
So that is the committee then, but as I said, the one that we adopted here, a fine not exceeding 1 million or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years or both. We can take that.
We want to come in to say this or that, upper and lower limits. It's a little bit. If we feel let's give the upper limits, or we give, if it is a serious one, we give the lower limits, and the discretion is to the judge or the magistrate. We cannot avoid that. If you want to do that, you can go and be a judge yourself, and you have that opportunity to do it. Yeah. So, what is the proposal for the amendment?
That is a fine not exceeding 1 million.
You said upper and lower, and I think
no, that's not. Yeah. Huh? The final one is this: a fine not exceeding 1 million, not exceeding 1 million, or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years, or both.
Chair. Chair.
The proposal for amendment is a fine not more than 1 million and or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years or so both. It is proposed.
Chair.
Yes. Kian West.
Yes. I am proposing for there to be also a minimum also. I'm proposing for there to be a minimum because it also causes no harm legally to put not less than this particular amount and not exceeding that particular amount. They are all legal provisions and it causes no harm. It depends on how we see that different angles. So,
the difficulty here is you are dealing with somebody who made a demand for big corruption, and then you only find somebody who is telling him, give me $10. So that area is a gray area for the judge or the magistrate to make a determination. Depending on what it is, they are also human beings like us.
I'm saying that I think let's just proceed with the proposal, because it could be 5,000, it could be 1,000. So it's from that to above. So thank you. Let it be the discretion of the judge to do that.
Observation.
What is minimum here?
Observation. Chair, I want to observe you, please. Kindly allow me.
You want to observe me?
Yes, kindly allow me.
Me?
Yes.
No, I will not observe. You will not observe.
No, please, you are the chair, that's why.
No, you
so I want somebody. I want to observe the proceeding, please.
The proceeding? No, you
I have a suggestion.
Okay,
yes.
You are coming. Yes, what suggestion do you have?
Honorable Chair, I want us to consider one thing, like, for example, if members want to contribute to a particular clause, allow us, you hear members first before you contribute it. You intervene too much and it's not time consuming. No, what I'm saying, for us, because we have a lot of work to do, after hearing from us, you can also make your observation, then the minister come last. But if you want to interject everybody, you want to add Jimbo and Oram there, we move nowhere.
You know, I'm not a speaker here. You have the same right, I have the same right.
You know, Honorable Chair.
If you say something, I can interject. I'm not up there. I am chairman of the committee.
Honorable Chair.
One, two, honorable member, two, I think we need to share experiences. We need to share experiences. I don't prevent people from talking, but in fact, that's why I would not have listened to you if you had not submitted your request. I will just put the question and go. So these are all there for us. The whole thing is to help each other because we all have one intention. But you see, laws where you have a maximum of and not more than this or not less than this, it's not the law of the day today. It's not. Honestly, I'm telling you. You are preempting something. Yes, honorable member for Lower Salem.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think members also should be very confide themselves on the standing order. If you have proposals, you write it down. If you don't have, let's continue, because interjecting with no ideas, you understand, you just make things delay. If you don't have any proposals, then we continue.
Honorable member for Kiang West, what we are trying to say, I see your logic. You want us to put an upper and a lower ceiling. Now that will be the total, because you don't preempt what type of crime is coming forward. So we give the upper ceiling so that you, the magistrate, cannot go above that. So depending on the severity of it, you have discretion between those time limits to go and to elect it. But if you want to say not more than 1 million, not less than 100,000, now it means nobody, even the simplest thing cannot be fined less than 100,000. So depending on the severity, you can even be fined $50, $100, $1,000, $1 million, depending on the severity. And that discretion is with the magistrate.
Honorable Chair.
Can you put it down now? I put the question. You say no, and then we remove it. Or you say yes, and we remove it.
Chair, I just want to help here.
It is proposed that clause 24, fraudulent receipt of property, stand part of the bill as amended. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Good. No.
Clause 25, deliberate frustration of investigation.
It is proposed, it is proposed, yes. It is proposed that clause 25, deliberate frustration of investigation, stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 26, making false statements or returns. On that, we have issue with fines, and then we are maintaining the same format of the fine, that is, fine not exceeding 1 million or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years or both.
Commits an offense and is liable on conviction to confiscation of the proceeds of the crime and a fine of not more than
a fine not exceeding 1 million or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years or both.
So you are amending it from 200,000, just like the previous one. Honorable member, it's just being amended just like the previous one. A fine not more than 1 million. And imprisonment not exceeding 5 years, isn't it? Or to both, yeah. Honorable members, it is proposed that clause 26, making false statements or returns, stand part of the bill as amended. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 27, gratification by and through agents.
It is proposed that clause 27, gratification by and through agents, stand part. Yeah? Yeah, I told you, Honorable. When he makes this thing, before I come in, you interject. Okay, go ahead. 27.
On fines. On fines, yes.
Okay.
And we maintain the same format. Fine not exceeding 1 million or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years or to both.
Yeah, I think your proposals, for me, your proposals are better than what is found in the document. Yeah. Your proposal, because in the document it's talking about to a fine of 200,000. The magistrate or judge to have no room to maneuver. He has to give you a fine of 200,000 for whatever crime it is. This one is by far better. To a fine not exceeding 1 million or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years, also both. Am I right?
Mr. Speaker. Chair.
Yes.
Kia West. Yes. What is unique about 1 million is coming consistently on all the acts. I don't know if they can explain that to us.
Because the crimes are similar.
1 million figure is coming.
I think because the crimes are similar and the same thing, so they want to make it uniform. So even if they offer, where you talk of maximum of 5 years, the magistrate now has the chance to tell you 3 months, 1 year, 3 years. Looking at the issue, 5 years is where he can. That's the magistrate, the judge's limit, highest limit. He can play with these things.
Chair.
Yes, Latikunda.
I just want to reinforce what you have said. I think the magistrate can go more than 1 million. That's what I wanted to say, actually. Thank you. Hello, Speaker.
The magistrate, the limit, we are giving the upper limit for the magistrate. He cannot also play above 1 million. He cannot.
Yes, Chair.
Yes.
In fact, I raised my tag the last time just to say that, sometimes if a crime is committed and there are 2 or 3 different, laws that can be used, normally the prosecutors, a sensible prosecutor will be able to determine, for example, if the loss is going to be really very huge, and if I use this particular law, then they will not, it's not going to be good. Then they may use economic crimes, for example, where they think that the quantification and the gravity is more than what's going to be in the particular law. Because sometimes you may have 2 or 3 different laws that a prosecutor can use. So it depends on really what you want to get at the end of the day.
Added value. Thank you very much.
Are we also
Honorable? Yes. Yes. Who?
The Deputy Major.
I thought somebody was calling. Honorable, it is proposed.
Chair, we have been calling. Chair, we are looking at the punishment bit with the lens of crime and punishment. But we are not considering the difference.
Is that for Nijaro?
It's not for Nijaro, it's Serakunda. Serakunda is talking, I don't know why he's talking.
For Nijaro, unless you are for Nijaro.
Yes. I think the problem we are having here, I think we are the ones who are making the law. But now we need to listen to the minister because he's here to advise us. And then all these laws is about deterring people of doing the offenses. But we are looking at the severity and comparing what is this amount. We're going to spend the whole time here without even finishing this bill.
Honorable Member for Serekunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. That's where I was heading. In order to fully understand the letter and spirit of this act or punishment, you have to look at it not with the lens of crime and punishment. You should also consider the deterring effect. That was my proposal. The only time you are saying, like when someone commits, not thinking of also these laws can also deter people from committing that act. No, but when you are considering the punishment bit, we should also consider the deterring effect as well. Thank you.
Honorable members, it is proposed that clause 27 stand part of the bill as amended. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no.
The ayes have it. Clause 28. Bribery of a public officer, a foreign public official, or an official of public international organizations.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, the amendment is on fine. We maintain the same format, that is fine not exceeding 1 million or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years or both.
All right. That's the proposal, isn't it? Yes?
I'm okay with the proposal, but I'm asking a question whether we are making these laws only targeting magistrate courts or these cases can go to other courts. Because if we only say magistrate court cannot go beyond 1 million, if a case is pronounced before a magistrate court and it is more than 1 million, it can refer it to the high court. But it's like are we targeting only the magistrate court for these kind of practices or not? That's my question.
Not saying that if it is above 1 million, it cannot go to a magistrate. We are not saying that. What we are saying is we are limiting the judges, whoever they are, from giving them time, depending on the crime we attach punishment. And now we are saying that any judge, whether it's the magistrate or whatever level, you cannot exceed, by this act, you cannot exceed 1 million fine. And you cannot exceed 5 years fine. That's what we are doing.
Yes, you said here before, because magistrate courts cannot go more than this. This is what you said here before this. No, you said it. So I'm sure some of these fines can be more than 1 million.
Honorable, what I'm saying is, I never talked about magistrates not being able to fine more than 1 million. Yes?
Yes. Let me just allay the fear of Ladekutasami. Magistrate courts do not have limitation in terms of the fines they can impose. Their monetary jurisdiction of 1 million is only for civil cases, civil jurisdiction. When it comes to criminal matters, once they convict, they can impose any fine permissible by law.
I think we are fine. Yes? Somebody. Kian West?
Chair, I still have a similar concern because otherwise we could have these clauses under one clause and they appear as sub-clause. If we are looking at them and giving the same punishment to all of them, why not we have them under one clause and they appear as sub-clauses? Because we are giving the same punishment to them and different clauses with different issues. The same punishment, the same fine, and there are different clauses. Are we treating them the same way?
No, fortunately that these are legal issues. That proposal cannot happen. Two, we are not giving them the same punishment. No, we are not giving them the same punishment. What we are doing is limiting the punishment range. So they don't usually have the same punishment. No, this is just a guidance for the magistrate that for those who commit this crime, you can fine them up to 1 million, not more. You can do that not more than 5 years. That's all we are doing. So what the magistrate does, whether he will fine 5,000 or 50,000 or 100,000, that now left with him.
Honorable Chair, what I am trying to say is that these are different clauses of different issues, of different conducts. Different conducts. And we consider them different. We put them under different clauses. But we are giving the same punishment to them as lawmakers today. We say not exceeding this, not also exceeding this. And that's what we are giving to all of them. That's my argument. I said these are different issues. And why not, if we really want to do that, we have them all under the same clause, but with different sub-clauses. Then they all have the same as we are doing it, but with different issues, and we are giving all of them different caps. I don't understand that.
Because, Honorable, what I would advise is, as we listen to you, you listen to others' explanation. Because you continue to say the same punishment. It's not the same punishment. 1, 2, these are legal issues. You must be legally minded And there are ways of drafting laws. It's not the way you think it should be drafted. That's why they frame them.
The way I'm putting it is also applicable. I read laws here. It's also applicable that we can have them on the subclauses, and it's also applicable.
You don't talk when I'm talking. When you are talking, I listen to you and I could intervene. But when I'm talking, you cannot intervene. We try to explain. Let's hear from some other members. Yes, honorable member.
Yes, I think maybe we need to rewind the tape back a little bit. Because if you look at the bill, most of the punishment is talking about 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 500,000. So instead of just going on a particular clause, arguing on whether it's 200 or 300, we say, you know what, why can't we just make it 1 million, not exceeding 1 million? Because all the fines in the bill, most of them is within that range. So we said, let's put a cap of 1 million so that whatever we agree, so it's left to the judge. That's all we are saying. We are not saying that somebody has to be charged 1 million or 800 or 900, no. But in the bill, they are very specific. Some clauses will say 200, some will say 300, some will say 500. So before agreeing on each clause for the fine, that's why we came up with that range. I think that was very, very, very clear. See, no, it doesn't mean that.
So this is what we are saying. We are not pushing punishment for everybody equal. It's not. There are different issues, different districts. It's just the range brackets that are different. Honorable members, it is proposed that clause 28, bribery of a public officer, a foreign public official, or an official of public international organizations, stand part of the bill as amended. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 29, offense of using office or position for gratification.
Yes, minority.
The amendment is on fine, and we maintain the fine not exceeding 1 million or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years.
Yeah, the proposal is not more than 1 million, and a fine of an imprisonment for 5 years to imprisonment not more than 5 years. Yes, honorable members, it is proposed that clause 29, offense of using office or position for gratification, stand part of the bill as amended. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 29, bribing in relation to office. Clause 30, bribing in relation to offices.
Okay.
The amendment is on fine, the same, fine not exceeding 1 million or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years.
It's like some members need to understand the format these people are taking, because during the interface, if we are talking 200, 300, so they make it a range to allow anybody making the judgment to maneuver within this area. So it doesn't mean that everybody would be treated the same, just to avoid, because others will be talking 300, 500, like that. So as they come and they feel it fitting, then they give the discretion of whosoever is making the judgment to maneuver from this amount of money to this amount of money. So this is, I think it's excellent that if they understand it that way, that is the format that this is going.
And that's exactly what the member for Opasalo is. So it is proposed propose that clause 30, bribery in relation to auctions, stand part of the bill as amended. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 31, bribery with regard to contracts.
We have amendment in fines in clause 31, 1, clause 31, 2, clause 31, 3, clause 31, 4, clause 31, 5. All these fines the same format. That is fine not exceeding 1 million, or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years.
Okay. All right. Yes. Only just give me a minute. Yes, yeah. Member for police.
Yes, thank you. For me, I'm of a different opinion in this one. In terms of the imprisonment, I believe that it should pass not exceeding 7 years. All our projects are failing because of this bribery and corruption in contracts. So I believe we should augment that a little bit to 7 years, not exceeding 7 years.
I think we should try to make sure that we commensurate these things. Because if this 1 million is 5 years, if you are talking about 7 million, will be 7 years will be more than 1 million. Yes, yeah. Should be more than 1 million. So it's a trade. I think it will cover all of them. 1 million is not a small joke, and it can be confiscated. You can go to 1 million, you can pay 1 million at the same time go for 5 years in prison. All those things are good.
It's small. Because these are serious matters. All our contracts.
No, it's going to be confiscated, 1. And then 2, you can be fined $1 million. And 3, you can go to mile 2 for 5 years. Okay. Yes, yeah. Mile 2 for 1 year is crazy. Yes, yeah. No, you will bring in another thing. When we are talking about 1 million, we are talking about 5 years. If you want to bring in 7 years, then we have to.
Yeah. I said this time we are talking about contracts, and these projects are failing. This is serious. This is a more serious case than just demanding $10, $20.
There are other laws that
diverge now.
There are other laws that can deal with them. They run into millions and billions.
Yes, yeah. Yes, yeah.
Yes,
yeah. Joshua. Joshua. Yeah. I'm suggesting that we delete subcontract. We delete the word subcontract. Because there cannot be anything like subcontract when there is no contract.
And when there's a contract, you deal with the contractor and deal with the subcontractor. So the word subcontract should be deleted, and then let it be contract only. You cannot subcontract when there's no contract. So the best is where are you making? Make reference to one area on the 31, 1, 2 and 3. 31, 1, A, 2 and 3. No. Listen. 31, 1. Yes. Tell us where 31, 1. A. Yes. Then you come to 1 and 3. No. 1, sorry, 2 and B. Hey, Honorable, listen to me. Yes. Take us to where you want us to amend. A where? Any subcontract. Any subcontract. No, that's A Roman 1. A Roman 2. A Roman 2. A Roman 2. Yes. Said what? Any subcontract. That subcontract should be instead subcontract. Read it. Any subcontract to perform any work provided any article, material, or substance required to be performed, provided, done or supplied under any contract with a public body or, then you come to B. And what are you saying now? The subcontract should be out. Why? Because there cannot be any contract without there cannot be any subcontract without contract. The contract of subcontracts. And yes, but it has taken care of the contract and it's going now for the subcontract. No, you cannot go for the contract and the subcontract. That's impossible. Huh? Yes. Honorable, let's take it this way. Let me explain. Honorable, the contractor deals with the subcontractor. The contractor signed a contract with the client. It's not the subcontractor. The contractor signed with the client. If there are any issues it's the client and the contractor, but not the subcontractor. The subcontractor is dealing directly with the contractor. All right, we know you are a specialist in contracting. Yes. Now let's hear the agent.
So, honorable member, is it Joshua? It is possible. The subcontractor can influence the public official, and the public official can put a pressure on the main contractor to subcontract a particular subcontractor. That is possible. You can come to me, and because my relationship with you, when I'm giving contract to A, I can make it a condition to A that I'm giving you this contract on condition that you subcontract part of it to you. And this clause is trying to avert that. So whether it's a primary contract or a subcontract, nobody should influence it, period.
No, I think, Honorable Minister, yes. I think let's make it very clear here. You as the one giving the contract, you are dealing with the contractor. You can come to me and say, give it to B when I give you the contract, and I don't give it to B. I might give it to C. So my concern here is there is nothing between the contractor, the subcontractor, and the client. The problem now is the contractor and the client. That's where the problem is. No, I disagree this time. Honorable, what we are saying is, the subcontract you are talking about can be as fraudulent as the contractor himself, in his practices, in his own ways. But so you want us to take that blame and take it to the contractor, and then look at A. A dealt with the contract. Any contract. This one is any subcontract. I hope you are not. No, Chair, I think you have to understand one thing here, Chair. Can I explain clearly? Chair. We understand. No, Chair, it's not about my passion. Please, I have to learn. Let me come in. Honorable. Chair, let me come in. Let me help. Honorable. Just help me. Let me help. Yes? Yeah, you come in. Listen to others also. No, let me learn. Listen to others. Come. Honorable majority and then majority then Banjul not.
Honorable, thank you very much. I think the language is very clear. We are talking about bribery under the kind of contracts. The contract, first of all, is to award a contract to the contractor who is with the contract. But of course, a
there might be a subcontractor who is not as capable as the contractor, trying to make connection to award the contract so that he could be subcontracted. So there shouldn't be any room open. It has to address both the contract and the contractor. So saying that because of I didn't receive the contract for the awardee, then I'm not acceptable. No. Even the subcontractor could also, if detected that he has not behind the nose to get this thing through this thing, then he goes to charge. Please. Full member for Bible.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. For me, what I want to say is that we cannot confuse ourselves here. The AG have already gave us a solution to this problem. The explanation is very clear. The issue is, as a client, I cannot give a contract to a subcontractor. But the fact is, if I give the contract to a contractor, in some occasions, I can tell that contractor, you can subcontract to this individual. So in that regards, I see no need to amend anything as far as what subcontract is concerned.
Thank you very much. Any order? Yes? Huh? Yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think I'll also be in support of what the Honorable Member for Banjul said. As the monitoring committee, why all our projects are failing is because they are subcontracting to very unqualified companies and institutions and who do not have the capacity and the resources, so that's why it's not moving. I think we stay with what is there.
Chair.
Members.
Honorable Chair.
Yes. Who is talking?
𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏.
𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏.
Yes.
Yes.
This contract issues cause they have severe consequences on our development, and most of the times, no are they only fraudulent at all times, but they lead to flouting of the GPPA principle. Some of them. Yes, some of them. You know, they are not only fraudulent, but their consequences are very severe on the state action. So the money they use to bribe are not enough to state punishment for them. So in this matter, 1 million is too small for punishment and imprisonment.
Honorable, we are telling you that there are a series of laws within the law books of the Gambia that can deal with each category of problems. They are serious. If you go to the member for oversight of economic crime, that one goes in taking before this. So these are laws, and depending on what crime is like, you will be taking the board and dealt with the money.
Those laws are there, these conducts are still happening, and we are not implementing.
Yeah, even if
this is why we have this.
The same thing, even if you change this, it can still continue. It will still be laws there. So let's try to ensure that those laws are enforced.
Yes, Speaker.
Honorable members, if you look at two,
Speaker.
Honorable members, look at two. Honorable members, if I am talking, I said, I don't want to shout your names. Look at two. The numbering is not correct. Two, it should be 2DE. What do you mean? Two should be A, B, and C. Am I right? Number two, stop two. It should not be D, E, and F. It should be A, B, and C. I have very
Yes, Speaker.
Yes, somebody was.
Yes, Speaker, sir. Yes, sir. Joshua.
Joshua, yes?
Yes. Honorable Speaker, I want to ask the Minister a question.
No,
on the same issue of contracting.
No, Honorable, make your contribution.
Yeah, my contribution is very clear. Because I know I'm subcontractor and the contractor. Don't see it as a contractor. See, let's be very fair. We are dealing with the public. This is what is going to guide the public tomorrow. If the subcontractor defaults, who do you charge?
All right.
You don't charge a subcontractor because you are dealing with the contractor, not subcontractor.
You have done your best, but you are unable to convince the vast majority of members. So let's get it down. Honorable members, it is proposed that clause 31, bribery with regard to contract
as amended. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Chair, with due respect, is this not a convenient time that we have lunch? Yeah, it's a yeah. No. Lunch and prayers.
Clause 32, duty to report bribing transaction.
Clause 32, Madam Chair, that the amendment is on fine and we maintain the fine not exceeding 1 million or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years.
Members, you have the proposal from the chair. It's accepted. It is proposed that clause 32, duty to report private transaction, stands part of the bill. Those in favor, please, as amended, stands part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 33, making statement which is false intended to mislead, etc.
Chair, clause 33, amendment, yes, can we hear?
Chair, 33(1) and 33(2). Both clauses we have amendment on fine. Maintain format, fine not exceeding 1 million or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years.
Clause 33, making statements which is false or intended to mislead, etc. It is proposed that
committee making false statement. If you look at the original drafter's proposal for punishment, in both cases of subsection 1 and 2, you propose maximum of 2 years imprisonment. I think it's not bad. So in this case, can we consider lowering the maximum for false statement? I mean, we can maintain 2 years, and for this section, we can, since they propose fines of 100,000 and for 2, they also mention 100,000. So we can maintain, say, not more than 200,000 in terms of the fine, and not more than 2 years as is proposed for false statement. But it will be very easy to convict somebody for false statement. 200,000 for the fines and not more than 2 years for the prison sentences. 5 years might be a bit behind some. Yes.
In connection to that, you see, this making false statement is something that is not so good. I'm suggesting 10 years for false statement.
Okay.
Honorable members, the proposal from the Attorney General is not more than $200,000 for a fine of not or imprisonment not more than 2 years. Is that acceptable? All right. It is proposed that clause 33, making statement which is false or intended to mislead, stands part as amended, stands part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 34, embezzlement, misappropriation, or other person of property by an official.
Chair, clause 34. It is proposed that clause 34, embezzlement, misappropriation, or other diversion of property by a public official, as it is stands part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 35,
that was understand that was very good, because my suggestion is it should be omitted completely.
Clause 36, the member for Law Northwest is proposing for deletion. Yes, member for Konyibita Karnai.
So I want to understand, member for Law, so that you want us to accept abuse of office delivery.
No, what he's saying, number 36 to be deleted.
And number 36 is talking about abuse of office and the policemen. That is subscribed for it. You understand? So I think it should be part of it. That is my stand.
Oh, okay, yes. Member for Nyani, then Bajos.
Honorable Speaker, I have the same opinion with Peter.
Okay, for us to leave it as it is. Okay, thank you. Bajos Central. It's very clear. Same. Member for Kanto and the member for Law Northwest. In the same, you are allowed. Okay, the Attorney General, can you...
Yes, for the purpose of explanation, I think he's seeking clarification. The abuse of office that is being talked about here, if it is done either by doing something or failing to do something in violation of law, but the intention here, if you do it purposefully, all right, to obtain an undue advantage. So it's not an ordinary abuse of office, where you abuse office intentionally or purposefully to obtain an undue advantage. That should be punishable.
Yes. It is proposed that clause 36, abuse of office, stands part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 37, illicit enrichment.
Clause 37, illicit enrichment, we have a proposal from the member for Kantora to delete clause 37. Yes, member for Opafuladu.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Looking at the illicit enrichment, I have a concern there. The intent might be very, very good, but it could also be an opening for witch hunting. That's to my understanding, because if you look at this particular clause, whereby individuals or a section of people, could be witch hunt as far as this illicit enrichment is concerned. Well, for me, the intent is very, very good, but if you look at the clause,
now, a member for Upper Fuladu, if there is a proposal already from the member for Kantora for it to be deleted,
yes.
If you are not in favor of that, you want it to be as it is, or you have proposals?
No. What I also want is.
Member for Nyani.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, it's a very good clause, but I'm also in line with the majority leader for it to be deleted.
Thank you. Banjul Central, please. Banjul Central.
Have issues with some of the provisions, but to delete it in entirety, not very sure of that. Because, for example, the member of Sandu might have a very good harvest and make very good investments, and then his personal, I would say, then it kinds of, his wealth in some way gets to be a bit enhanced. So one wonders, how do you justify that as, enrichment? That's my problem. Yeah.
Nyani? Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't think. Banjul Central, okay. Bakau.
I propose we maintain it.
Jimara?
Yes, thank you so much, Honorable Chairman. I am also proposing for it to be
deleted, because to me the language itself is wrong.
I'm suggesting that those who are in for deletion, maybe you may not even. Fonny Jarol?
I'm with the motion to delete the clause because I'm a good farmer and I can make a good harvest.
Lower Badibu?
I suggest we leave it as it is.
Serekunda?
Yes, thank you very much, Chair. I think we leave it as it is. There is no ambiguity because that one, clause 37B, is saying, yes, okay, is in control of a pecuniary resource. Huh?
No, I thought because we are reading, so maybe I will allow him, you would have had something.
Unless he or she gives a satisfactory explanation as to how he or she was able to maintain such standard of living or how such pecuniary resource or property came under his or her control. So we leave it as it is.
Thank you. Minority Leader, that's the last person
I think there is no ambiguity in this. During the training, this was well explained. Nowadays, illicit financial flows, illicit enrichment are issues that should be handled. And if we don't come by this law, that means we are going to encourage that. Unexplained wealth, we are free if you explain it. But if you cannot explain it, I mean, how can you go scot-free? That's why I'm telling you. Something that you cannot explain, how can you, go scot-free for that? Yeah?
No, we are going to vote. No. Yes, that's the proposal, Alice. Of course. That's the proposal, Alice. It is proposed that clause 37 be deleted. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. That is it. All right. There is division. Can we vote? Those, go ahead, please. Don't vote. Those who are in for clause 37 to be deleted, please raise your hands. Those not in favor, please raise your hands. The result is as follows. Those who propose for clause 37 to be deleted, 28 votes. Those against its deletion, 9 votes. Therefore, clause 37 is deleted.
Clause 38, bribery in the private sector.
Clause 38, bribery in the private sector. It is proposed that clause 38, bribery in the private sector, stands part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 39, embezzlement of property in the private sector.
Clause 39, embezzlement of property in the private sector. It is proposed that clause 39, embezzlement of property in the private sector, stands part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Honorable Speaker.
Clause 40, concealment.
The member for Nyani.
I'm suggesting we break and have our lunch. Hence, the speaker has already
maybe at clause 40. Clause 40, concealment. It is proposed that clause 40, concealment, stands part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. I think this is a good time for us to break for breath. Now the House resumes. The Assembly resumes. Honorable members, it is now 15:45. It's a good time for us to break for lunch and prayer, and we are expected to resume by 16:45. The House is adjourned.